Hey hun, I'm Chloe and this is the skater tutorial. My mission here is to share my passion for pole dancing and make pole dancing easy to learn and accessible. This is the 35th video of the beginner pole trick tutorial series. In order to maximize your training out of all the videos, I highly recommend you to start from the very first video of this playlist, as the tricks will be a progression of the video before. This skater is a very pretty trick. We shall go through some conditioning and get into the tutorial. This video is mirrored for your ease of learning. I'll also have a red wristband on my right wrist and my right ankle to indicate the right side of my body if you do get confused of the directions. This trick tutorial is created for you for informational and educational purposes only, and for you to enjoy learning pole dancing from the comfort of your own home. Please participate at your own risk and don't work beyond your capability, and seek help or spotting when necessary. For any health concerns, please seek professional medical advice. Please also make sure you warm up your body before you start this trick tutorial. I have a warm-up playlist depending on your level under the playlist warm-up so that you can try it before you do the trick. If you enjoyed this videos, please make sure you give it a thumbs up so that I know to create more of these kinds of videos, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet so that you are notified every single week I upload a tutorial. If you're looking to further your pole journey in combining tricks and dance together, then consider signing up for my online learning platform, Pole Art Vault, where we put tricks and dance together into a combo and learning an entire routine with tricks and dance together. You can find the link in the description below for further information. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get into the skater tutorial. Alrighty, now let's get straight into our conditioning. For our conditioning today, we are going to do our half bracket carousel kicks. Now, we are going to start on the left side of the pole, on your toes. From here, we are going to get our inside hand nice and high, outside hand comes across the tummy, making sure that you create that 90-degree angle with your outside arm. You're going to squeeze your armpit in. Now, with your hand, you're going to make sure that you pull in your top arm, push away with your bottom arm. Inside leg comes nice and high, creating that 90-degree angle a little higher, and then into that knee crease of your knee, and then the bridge of your foot on the pole. From here, you're gonna push your leg into the pole, kicking your leg back, and then coming down. Now, when you're kicking your leg back, you can keep your knees bent, and then you're thinking about really kicking that ankle all the way to your bum, so really squeezing from your hamstring. So if you're feeling almost that crampy sensation in your hamstring, you're doing it right. So let's try 4 on each side of that. So make sure that you have enough grip on your hands and your legs before this as well. So coming into your half bracket grip, pulling in your up top arm, pushing away with your bottom arm, pushing into that leg, kicking your leg back. Beautiful. And 2. And last one. Well done. Let's try it on the other side. All right, standing on the right side of the pole, onto your toes, inside hand comes up, outside and across, squeezing the armpit in. Inside leg comes nice and high onto the pole, pushing into your leg, kicking your leg back. Good, and 3, and 2, and last one. Well done. There is your conditioning done. Alrighty, now let's get into our skater. For a skater, you can either do this on spin or static. Doesn't make much of a difference, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna show this to you on spin because I think it just looks a little prettier. So this is what a skater looks like. Alrighty, now let's break down the skater. Now with a skater, we are gonna start in our half bracket grip, same exact position that we did for our conditioning. So we're gonna come into a half bracket carousel kick position. Now once we come into a forearm grip carousel position, We are going to, did I say forearm? No, half racket grip carousel. We are gonna grab our back ankle with our same hand. So outside hand comes off, you're gonna grab your ankle, and then we're gonna extend it out. So you're gonna think about kicking into your hand as you bring your leg out to the side, and there is your skater. So let's try this one together. Make sure that you have enough grip on your hands and legs as well for this one. So we're gonna come into a half racket, inside leg comes up. From here, you're gonna push off the floor with your outside leg. Once you're ready, you're gonna take that hand off, and then you're gonna kick into your hand. To come out, just landing on both feet, coming back to the floor. Well done. Now, for those that are a little bit more bendier, especially in the back, then if you want to try this one, it is a bit more advanced because you can start reaching your hand a little further up your knee, so underneath or even like on your inner thigh, and then you can reach out, and that's going to give you more of a beautiful extension. Again, this is more of an advanced trick. So if you want to try this one, and if you are on the bendier side, you can try this one, especially if you've got good hips, good back, and good sort of like shoulder opening. So what I mean is, like so. Again, this is quite tricky. So if you want to try this, go ahead, but your original sort of skater is when you're grabbing your ankle. So let's try that on the other side as well. Onto your toes, into your half bracket grip. Pulling in your top arm, pushing away with your bottom arm. Inside leg comes nice and high, pushing into that knee crease, and then the bridge of your foot. Push off with your outside leg, into your skater. To come out. Stepping out. Well done. So there is your skater on both sides. Alrighty, now let's go through some tips and common mistakes. Common mistake number 1, not pushing away with your outside hand. Now, what I mean by that is when we are coming into a half bracket grip, you always want to make sure that pulling in your top arm, pushing away with your bottom arm. Now, when we are in this grip, I see a lot of hands quite high. So your outside hand is either maybe just around your armpit, even higher than that, or a little lower than that, but you are not pushing that pole away with your outside hand. So in order to push away with your bottom hand, you want to make sure that your hand is just around your tummy or even lower so that you can push the pole away from you. Now, if you don't push the pole away from you, what's going to happen is you're going to end up really close to the pole, and then you won't be able to come into that knee crease that you need to push off with. So always remembering that you want to make sure that you push off with your outside hand. Now, going on that, when you're pushing away with your outside hand, you also want to make sure that you're turning your chest away from the pole. If you're turning your chest towards the pole, it is going to be really hard for you to grab your back leg, and then ultimately you are going to end up sort of rolling your body forward into the pole, and then you won't get all that leg grip that you need. As soon as you turn your chest away from the pole, you will also notice that you get more grip in your leg, so it is easier for you to push your leg in towards the pole. So making sure that you're turning your outside chest. So if your left hand is the one that's grabbing your leg, then turning your chest obviously sort of naturally away from the pole. Now, third tip that I want to give you is making sure that your inside hand is very high. Now, if your inside hand is very low and then you're sort of overwrapping your wrist as such, you won't be able to lean out, and then you won't be able to turn your chest away. So making sure that your inside hand is high, and then lean your chest away from the pole. Now, Other thing is making sure that you're conscious of your head movement. So when we are working on any tricks, you obviously want to do it nicely. I mean, I'm not sure if there's anyone that's like, oh, I don't mind doing it dirty. I mean, if we can, we might as well make it look nice. So when we are grabbing our back leg, you can either look over your outside shoulder, which is if you're grabbing your back leg, same shoulder. You can look either over your shoulder towards the floor or look up. And that's really going to elevate that movement for you, rather than just keeping your head still. I mean, if you keep your head still, it looks okay, but it doesn't look as nice. But if you look over or look up, it just makes it look that extra bit nice. So you might as well do that. So there's your head movement, being conscious of your head movement. Now, other thing is how to grab your back ankle. Now, when you're grabbing your back ankle, there's two options for you, or I should say maybe three for those that are a bit more advanced, the third one. You can either grab your ankle, so either palm facing towards you or facing out. Those are your two options. Now, I find personally that if I grab from my inside, so palm facing out and then grabbing it, I'm able to kick into my leg a little better. However, if you're finding this a little tricky, or if you're finding this sort of shoulder rotation a little tricky, then you can grab it from the outside, so palm facing towards you and then grabbing your ankle. This option might be easiest for you. Again, this is really gonna depend on your body and what you prefer. So try experimenting with both grips and then let me know which one you like. Now, again, the last one is either grabbing towards your calf or even up on your inner thighs, back of your knees, and then to get that extra extension. But again, that is totally optional and it is more of an advanced trick for those that are a bit more flexy. Now, next thing I want to talk about is grip. For skater, grip is super, super crucial, especially because we are hanging on one arm and also only pushing in one leg as well. Now, please make sure that you have enough grip on your legs and also on your hands. So if you have sweaty skin or sweaty palms, you want to use something that would get rid of any oil on your hands. So I would highly recommend an antiperspirant or some sort of liquid chalk, specifically for pole if possible, because sometimes some products may work that is not pole specific, but again, you're gonna have to sort of experiment with different products and see what works for you. So a bit of research will go a long way. Now, if you do have dry skin, like I do, but sweaty palms, with sweaty palms, I'll use something that's a bit more drying. But for dry skin, I would recommend something a bit more dewy. So something that's a bit more sticky, giving it a bit of moisture. So I usually just use a gel shaving foam, which sounds weird, but it is great because it gives it a bit of moisture. So putting it a teeny bit. For the skater, you'll need it on your inner part of your knee. So just this grip here, on your shin, right here, and then the bridge of your foot. So those are gonna be your main grip points. So making sure that your skin is exposed in those areas. So if you have like any leggings, making sure that you're not wearing any leggings, tuck it all the way up. Making sure that you've got all that gripness in your legs and then your hands, and that's gonna help you a lot with your skater, especially because this one, I was slipping a lot, especially when I don't have any grip that day. And those are all the tips and common mistakes I wanted to go through. Before I let you go, a little mindset tip for you today. You do not have to pole dance on your own. Now, sometimes you need a bit of accountability or sort of external motivation for you to do any sort of exercise or honestly anything in life. I can say this for myself as well. And when I want to pole dance, or if I feel like sometimes I'm not motivated to, I have my students, I have my community, I have my friends, I have my instructor friends that are somewhat holding me accountable, but not directly, but in an indirect way. So say for example, I have one day where I'm like, oh, I just don't really feel like moving, or I don't really feel like teaching. And honestly, it happens. You're gonna have those days where you're just not feeling like moving or whatever it is. However, if you have someone that's holding you accountable, it is going to help you get up and move, and ultimately that might make you feel even better than how you were feeling before. So in terms of me as an instructor, I have days where I don't really feel like getting up, but I have to come up with a sort of syllabus. I have to come up with what to teach. Some days where I have to face you and teach you how to do a skater. And sometimes days where I don't feel like doing it, I always remember that I have you that I can help inspire and help teach you how to do a trick, and also not just teach you a trick, but also how to feel motivated and how to train, and also ultimately just help you reach these goals. So this is a great motivator for me and responsibility for me to get up and do something. So if you need something or someone to motivate you, sometimes it's good to have a friend or even an accountability partner to tell you that you should be doing these things. Now, one resource I can help you with is obviously Polar Vault. This is an online learning platform where I can help you coach and also help you with routine and building up every single week. So if you are willing to get into like the next level or work on an online coaching program, that is something I provide for you. So let me know and DM me if you need any help as well. Thank you so much for joining me in this skater tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the very next tutorial. Bye. So that you can, oh jeez. To indicate the right, jeez. To indicate the right, jeez, where's my words today? Please make sure you help, jeez.